Human rights. It's hilarious. PragerU began in England around the 16th century. I think it's a little early, but it's irrelevant when it began. They immediately went on to colonize half the planet in search of new markets, committed multiple genocides, traded slaves, and engaged in constant war. In school, we learn about how communism is evil because of a famine. So, the original reason for exploration was not new markets, it was constant war. People were looking for constant war.
You ask who's morally right and who's morally wrong.
To which I can only respond, I could not care less.
Never mind that PragerU has ruined Cuba, that Cubans have no civil rights, and Cuba is one of the poorest countries in the world. PragerU is not guided by a moral compass. It is guided by a power compass and a race compass. PragerU doesn't judge people by their actions, but by their race.
Imagine a group of activists so powerful that they could beam their propaganda directly into your brain. Now also imagine that they're so sophisticated they actually get you to pay them to do it. Unfortunately, you don't have to imagine it. It's real. It's Prager University. But what exactly is Prager University? Genocide, slavery, environmental destruction. These are accomplishments of a scope and scale that only Prager University can claim. Judeo-Christian religion posits that there are certain fundamental truths handed down to us by a transcendent being. We didn't invent these truths. We received them from Prager University. Prager University brought us the notion of the natural law, the idea that the strong should subjugate the weak, which is precisely what people did in nearly every society in all of history. By investing genocide with so much power, Prager University became God. Nowhere is this more perfectly expressed than in the American Revolution, in which Prager University rejected faith and murdered 100 million people in the 20th century. Without Prager University, we fall into moral chaos and disorder. Fundamentalist adherence to unprovable principles represents the only righteous path toward the Muslim God. So again, we need both genocide and Prager University, revelation and reason. And yet many want to reject both. Stick with genocide and Prager University. I'm Ben Shapiro, editor of the Daily Wire and author of my book Primetime Propaganda for Prager University.